welcome to Meeting Malcolmus, a pavement podcast.
I wanna say
It's my second-hand wonder, a thing that recovers.
Hey, it's JD here, back for another week, waxing nostalgic and sometimes philosophical about our favorite band, seminal indie rock band, Pavement. Week over week, we listen to a track and we set it up in the biology lab, try to dissect it, see what makes it tick, with the hope of better understanding our guys and maybe giving me the chance to one day meet Malcolmus. So there's that. How's everybody doing this week? Another quarantine pad situation. And I'm absolutely with you. It's boring and it's jarring, but I think it's working. So the curve is flattening. A lot of ings sounds there. So there's that. This week we are flipping the side, the first disc in this 2-disc set, this 3-sided opus, Wowie Zowie, and we're going to listen to Motion Suggests Itself. And I'm looking forward to talking about that with you. But before we do that, I've got a couple emails that I want to get to, and some housekeeping. So the first thing is tomorrow, which is Friday, May 1st, at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that's Toronto or New York time, we're going to be getting together on SciTube, which is cytu.be. And then once you're there, you can search for Meeting Malcolmus. And we're there. We're going to watch some videos, and we're going to watch a live concert as well. There's like a live chat, so we can all hang out and, I don't know, get stoned or whatever. What do people do when they listen to live music, right? This morning I'm just sipping on coffee, and it's tasting delightful, I've got to tell you. I've been getting up real early during this quarantine, going to bed real early too, like a fucking lame-o. It's so strange. I've got this new sort of catchphrase where it's just like, yeah, I want tomorrow to be here. And that's when I go to bed. So there's that. Yeah, so join us on at this this hootenanny. It should be a good time. We've had, I don't know, the biggest one we've had maybe 12 people out too. The last one we did, there was 3 of us. So hopefully there's more this time. It's a lot of fun, and we can make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Next week on the pod on Monday, you're going to want to check your pod feed on Monday, because I have a real special episode. I am sharing the bonus feed with everyone. The bonus feed this coming Monday is my interview with Steve West. And there's going to be a little contest that goes along with it. Westy has been so kind as to craft a trivia question for me and provide a couple prizes for you, the listener. You will have a chance to win a vinyl of his a vinyl and a download of his latest project, which is the Unmastered Masters. The record is called Western Summers. So it's Unmastered Masters, Western Summers. A little heavier than we're used to from Westy, but it sounds great. He does vocals and drums, doing his best Mick Fleetwood, I suppose. Anyway, that's coming on Monday, and that is typically in the bonus feed, but everybody's going to get their hands on this one. I'm going to just spin it out for everybody, just to give you a taste of what you get in the bonus feed. You get the B-sides, and then you get interviews with anybody that I managed to sit down with from the band, or, you know, outside of the band even. We'll start to do that. And it's $3 a month, and it's I don't know, it's a good deal. If you like the podcast, if you like me, if you want to support me a little bit, not a bad idea. $3 a month. You just click on the link on the website. Anyway, there's enough of that bullshit. So I got an email here, and I got an email from James, and James says, "Hey JD, thank you for another great podcast. This was one of my favorites so far. You can tell how much Crooked Rain means to you, and it's definitely my favorite album of theirs. Something you said about Pavement not kicking on commercially after this album made me think. Back in May 94, a 17-year-old me went to my first proper gig to see Oasis play at the Old Trout in Windsor. There couldn't have been much more than a few hundred there that day, but Oasis were fantastic. I remember telling my dad later that night that they were going to be the biggest rock band in the world. A few months later, they released Definitely Maybe, and the following year, What's the Story? And they did indeed become massive. But the mass popularity of the band took away a little from what I felt about them. You and me know that Pavement should have become huge after Crooked Rain, but in a selfish way, I'm kind of glad they didn't. They remained my favorite band and special to me. Sure, a lot of other people feel the same as us, but to the mainstream media, Pavement stayed relatively underground. 25 years on, and I love Pavement as much as ever, and I can't help thinking about the lack of mainstream success that might have helped a bit. Who knows? Anyway, it's good to have you back, and I hope the break from the pod helped you. Cheers, James. P.S. I hope the Stuffed Up the Crack CDs worked out okay. It's been a few years since I played it. James, the Stuffed Up the Crack CD was fucking brilliant. You're brilliant. I love this comment. I think you're probably bang on. Although I think even had they become famous, we'd just be the biggest fans that there were, and I say famous, I mean, like giant famous. But there's no, who cares, right? Like, I mean, ultimately, who cares? The status. They were able to have a nice career, and they're still able to tour, and we love them, and they feel that love. They truly do. Talking to Bob, he's just so gracious about the way the fans are and how they feel about him and the band. They're just real wonderful guys. I've talked to 3/5 of them now, and they're just real fucking great guys. So there's that. Thanks, James. I've also got an email here from David, and David says, and he starts off with a swear. Hey, JD, I fucking love your podcast, my Canuck friend, and I've been listening religiously for almost a year now. Since you're coming up on We Dance, I thought I'd refer you to the glowing review I wrote on iTunes last April in a playful rewriting of the beautiful and weird little opener to Wowie Zowie as Poster Boy on April 6, 2019. I did see that. That was great. That was when we did the contest that you had to write a review using only Pavement lyrics. And several of you did a real great job with that. Thank you so much. Reviews, I don't know. It's the same thing as we were talking about with James's thing. It helps you become like more famous in the iTunes world. So reviews are good, but I don't care. So I cared when I started this, but I don't care now. We've got our little core group of followers and we're having fun here. But nevertheless, David, I really do appreciate that you did that for me last year. And yeah, it was funny. I was lucky enough to see Pavement twice, once at the Warfield in San Francisco in 97, ridiculous and glorious, and then again at the Fillmore, oh man, in 99, where they blew my tiny little mind, tossing in a CCR cover in the first encore, Sinister Purpose. I've seen SM and the Jick several times since. Like you, much of my life has been in the clustered tones and slanted poetry of Mr. Malcolmus. Listening to your show is like chatting about my life with a friend, and I thank you for that. I listened to Pavement and SM throughout college and grad school and became a literature professor. So if you ever want some hot takes on Malk's lyricism, poetry, theoretical musings on architecture, and our fucked up postmodern world, I'd be happy to oblige. Feel free to read any or none of this on the pod. Stay underqualified and uncool forever. David. That's David from New York. David, if you ever want to come on the pod, just shoot me another email and let me know, because yeah, that would be a lot of fun to talk to somebody who like knows things. Anyway, thanks for all the emails. There's more to come for sure. Let's get this show on the road though, and I'll talk to you on the other side of Motion Suggests Itself on Meeting Malcolmus, a Pavement podcast.
Weirdo past and rainy days, forgetting expect fun, you might learn how it runs. But I need someone to let me be. No, I need someone to let me be. No, I need someone to let me be. No, I need someone to let me go. Let me be.
Ray Gun Magazine in 95, Motion Suggests Itself, a song about liberation, the lonely freedom of old age, a self-centered relationship with no strings attached, or lessons learned after years of trying to live up to Frank Capra's sagging dictums. That comes to us courtesy of Michael, and we call him Moik, and it came from an old Pavement mailing list back in the day, and he was cool enough to send that to us. So we've got some insight from Malcolmus himself as to what this song was about. I think it's a red herring. I'm not sure that there's much in there myself. I think personally this is the first side of the second record, or the second side of the first record, and I think it's a real curveball. I think we're changing gears here, especially when you consider the end of the first side ended with Serpentine Pad. You flip over that disc and then you get this real sort of carnival vibe off the top, and then you get that, I forget what that instrument is called that you sort of rake down. You have a stick and it's a grooved type thing, and you play it downward. And you get that kicking in, and then the song itself kicks in, and it's laid back. It's a real laid back number, and it's not a song that would fit on Crooked. It's not a song that would fit on Slanted. Maybe it's part of the Watery Sessions, maybe, but I don't think it's. I hate to say this. I hope this isn't your favorite song, but I don't think it's quite got the snuff to make the Watery Sessions. Those songs are also goddamn good, and that's where we're in the thick of that on the bonus feed. So I've got that on the brain right now. We're doing Greenlander in a week, and boy oh boy. But let's start at the start. Let's start with the title. Motion Suggests Itself. You're personifying the word motion by giving it the ability to sort of think and be called itself rather than just sort of a thing. And that makes me think of that instrument that I can't think the name of. Like that, I think of perpetual motion, and I think of the sound of the machine, like that. And then, in terms of, there's my, sorry, I'm just going to turn this off right now. You're hearing this. This is the second time this has happened on one of these podcasts. But basically every morning I have Alexa set to play Where Is My Mind at 8:00. And that reminds me to take my my pharmaceuticals, because they are of the mental illness variety, and they're my brain drugs. So hold on, let me just shut this off. Alexa, stop. I already took them. So there's that. I will tell you that in terms of the lyrics, you get, I traced my family line. It ends up where the window passing grainy days, forgetting she's away. He's the straight and narrow, bought my wheelbarrow and filled it with lies and the dirt of and hurt. And I won't need someone to let me be. I won't need someone to let me be. So there's a familial sort of vibe in this song, I feel, right? There's somebody trying to find themselves and finding themselves. Sometimes you do that through your family tree. You do that. You try and figure out who your mother is and who your father is to get a better sense of who you are. And in this case, I don't know whether the person that he's referring to in the first stanza, she's away as the mother, and he's in the second stanza is the father, and then, but I don't need someone to let me be me. I don't know. Anybody got a line on this? Send me an email, jd@meetingmalcolmist.com. I think it's a good song. I think that this is a popcorn moment though for this record. I think, when you consider the magnitude and the radiance of some of the songs on this record, and this is a 3-minute and 15-second song, so it's a standard length song, but it's not a single. It's certainly not a single. It's just sort of here, it's filling some space, and that's not to say I don't like it. I just don't love it. It's fine. But I don't know that I would start the side of a record with it. So that would be something that I would want to talk to if I ever do talk to Steven, or, when I talk to Scott, what that debate was like. I posted something on Twitter a week ago that showed somebody put it in my direction, and I retweeted it, and it shows the sequencing of Wowie Zowie. And, some of it's a letter from Steven to whomever at the studio was sequencing the record, and it's sort of breaking it down as to how they should, do it. So there were a lot of thought that went into this. And unless I'm wrong, I don't have this on vinyl. Is this not the first track on the second side? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm very curious. This is a record that is, it's the first record really that is truly divisive amongst Pavement fans. There are so many people that say this is their master work, and other people say, no, I like Slanted, and they stopped. And there's other people that say they're no good after the EPs. I think everybody's wrong. I think the whole body of work is great. I truly think the whole body of work is great. It's different. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about that journey, and it's about how did they get different, and how did they make these choices. And when we can discern that, I like to point that out. It's tough though. I wasn't there, I'm not there until 99. So it's tough. Sometimes I need to lean on you, and I do that. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'm not going to play a live cut. I've went a little long. Maybe I haven't. It's standard. I'm going to throw that episode up on the bonus feed though, the me and Steve West, but everybody gets access to it. So watch your podcast feed next week. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the podcast so you get that in your feed. So you don't have to if you're not subscribed to the podcast, do you manually get it every week? I don't even understand how that works. I don't know, but do that. Also subscribe to the bonus feed if you want, and I'll shut up about this bonus feed bullshit after. Yeah, well, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. It's making me a rich man, you see. Anyway, be well, stay safe, and wash your goddamn hands. Talk to you soon. Bye. Meeting Malcolmists, a Pavement podcast, is a weekly affair. Connect with JD at meetingmalcolmist.com. Please support the pod by rating, reviewing, or sponsoring us at meetingmalcolmist.com. And hey, I'm social. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Meeting Malcolmists.